What's going on, people, and welcome back to Totalozspurs. Tottenham won, Fulham won, and we all knew what was going to happen when we went to penalties. We lost. Delane, I know how you're feeling, bro, but tell me, how are you feeling?
Very disappointed, to be honest. Yeah, obviously we'll get into it, but yeah, just all day just felt shit because you know had all high hopes in this game, but yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah, so a lot of controversy around this game. We did get a Premier League team, round two of the Carabao Cup. We actually haven't been in this position for a fair few number of years. I think the last time we lost a round two FA Cup run was back in 2005 against Grimsby, 1-0. Um, but this one hits hard because I feel like we started the season well, and a lot of things happened that some of us can't even explain. But before we get into it, guys, make sure you are liking and subscribing to the channel, and
Hmm.
make sure you hit that bell button for all future notifications. But let's get into the lineup. So Ange Postecoglou came out before the game, midweek, and said that he wants to win every single game he aims to win, and then changes a winning formula, replaces 9 of his starting 11 in this game. And we did speak about it, me and Brad, yesterday, about making a couple of changes, but 9. Delane, what was your thoughts when you saw that lineup?
I thought you look. I'm gonna be honest here. I thought, okay, this is a game for these players to really show what they can do now. It's a real big step for these players to show what you can do before the transfer window closes. So, I mean, I had I was 50-50. I was hype. It looked like a solid lineup, but then half of me was like, oh, okay, I can see we're gonna have a bit of trouble here with this lineup. The midfield, the defense, and yeah, so I was a bit off and on with the lineup. But other than that, I thought the players were gonna do great, but obviously it showed. But yeah, I wasn't that confident, but I was confident.
Yeah, see, look, I was kind of in your boat. I watched a few live streams prior to the match, the team announcements, and a lot of people were fairly upset with the lineup. And I thought to myself, you know what? Like, I can understand why Ange is doing this, um, even though I thought it was a bit out of there doing 9 changes. But
Yeah,
I can kind of see that he thought himself that he had the players that are good enough. And let's break it down, right? You had
yeah,
a Colombian starting centre back in Sanchez, Mickey Van de Ven, who's been excellent, and he's the only player that can walk out of this game with his head held high.
mm-hmm.
Royal had just made the Brazilian squad.
Yeah,
Um, Ben Davies has been in the Welsh team uh, for since I don't know since birth, but it seems like Fraser Forster is a decent goalkeeper in the Premier League. Pierre-Emerick Højbjerg is the captain for Denmark. Ollie Skip is probably not put in that category. Gio Lo Celso, Argentinian golden boy, as Messi would say. You had Richarlison starting striker for Brazil. You had Perisic starting winger for Croatia. And then you had Solomon, who definitely gets into that Israeli team. You had international captains in this squad. And for me, this highlights the problem that we have now. Um, the team was good enough to go out there and beat Fulham.
mm-hmm.
I believe. I believe we had enough skill. We had enough good players to get a result. But as soon as the game started, I sat there and went, you know what, all this positivity, all this, trying to back these players to prove everyone wrong, to stand up and be like, you know what, we're gonna give Ange, um, we're gonna give Ange something for trusting in us. And they just bottled it like everybody else said. And I'm going to hold my hands up and say, you know what, I got it wrong. My positivity, my thinking of these players getting a game and being able to beat Fulham, I didn't show Fulham the respect. The players didn't show Fulham respect, and Ange Postecoglou didn't.
No,
He got it wrong,
definitely. He got wrong.
completely wrong. And I didn't even realise that after Burnley, we have 2 weeks off because international break. So for me going, no, we have to rest these players. We've got Burnley, then we've got Sheffield. I was wrong. We should have rested out. We should have played our first team. We should have solidified it in the first half and then brought these players on. And we're going to go straight into the worst of the woe. That midfield. How absolutely disgusting was that midfield? I didn't see Skip do anything. I'm sorry. There's so many accounts and YouTubers out there that big up Højbjerg. What did he do in that first half? I don't know what he deserved to stay on the whole pitch on the whole game. He stayed on the whole game. I don't understand it. And Lo Celso, I was really hoping Lo Celso would do something, and he showed a little bit, but he wasn't good either. And I think that's because the general team was shit. But it doesn't look good for these guys.
No, it doesn't. And I put a video out before, it looked a little short after the game, and I'm gonna criticize Skip. I know how much you guys love him. He's a Tottenham boy through and through, but he does not fit the system. He does not fit it at all.
You know what I didn't see him do? Him and Højbjerg did not do what Basuma and Sarr do.
Yes, they didn't link.
Sarr goes up, Basuma sits back. Basuma goes up, Sarr sits back. They did none of that. They were like they were playing under Conte last season.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'll get into. They were playing like they were playing under Conte. And for me, I think both of them need to go. They weren't good enough. Skip needs to go. Højbjerg needs to go. Look, and Lo Celso, look, he tried, but he can't do most of the work. Like Højbjerg wasn't doing much, and Skip wasn't helping them out. And Skip gave away stupid balls. Like there was a situation between him and Sanchez, like who the ball was rolling in between them. Skip should have been on that ball. Should have gone, no, I've got that. That's mine. It looked like he wasn't hungry enough. He wasn't hungry enough to, take the game by the scruff of the neck. And that's what I mean. That's what Sarr does. Sarr just comes in, takes the game by the scruff of the neck. Him and Basuma link up really well. Good pairing. With Højbjerg, he literally doesn't know how to turn and run. There's situations where he just stands still, passes it back. It's like he's playing under Conte. Like, come on, man. This is a system where you need to run. And if you don't fit it, then you're gone. Simple.
Well, the thing about Højbjerg is he runs two players. He closes down the distance, right? But what that does is it draws in defenders to follow in. So then when they're in tight spaces, he draws the pressure. Instead of moving into space and making the defenders move out of space to create a run for Skip or for himself, he decides to try and run close to get the ball like he did under Conte. Then he feeds it back all the fucking time.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. And that shot that he pulled off to try to score, what the hell was that? I mean, my son, who's like 8 months, could probably shoot better than him. That was a poor shot. You can see it in his face and his body language that he did not want to be there anymore. It's like he gave up because it looks like he wasn't trying. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't going. He wasn't playing Ange ball. He was just doing Højbjerg and just passing it back. Trying to be the leader man. And it was getting really frustrating. I want him to come off.
I don't know how he stayed on.
I don't know how he's staying on either. I want him to come off. I want Skip to go into that role and bring Sarr in. At least Skip will have a go. But there was times where Skip was giving away stupid passes, stupid balls, doing stupid fouls, and I was just like, "Oh, come on, man!" But yeah, you're right. As soon as it kicked off, and when our midfield was running, I was just like, "Oh no, here we go." It didn't look like they didn't look like they wanted to work for this game, and this was an important game for us. To solidify.
It's a very important game.
It is. Every game is important from here to now. Trying to get a trophy, trying to, get the fans up, get the fans all positive and happy. But this happened, and now, we're just basically shut down again. And yeah, it's very.
Well, for me, man, the cup runs are more important because that's the best chance of us actually winning something. Exactly. Everyone might say I've got no ambition, but I don't care. This club needs to start winning some form of trophy to be able to get that weight off the shoulders of the club, of the players, and of the fans. Yeah. We need to build a winning mentality, and we have a young squad. We have the third youngest squad now in the league. I'm not going to use it like Arsenal did last season, but we have the third youngest squad. If we can start building some winning mentality in 3 or 4 years' time, when everyone's hit their peak, Madison's in his peak, Basuma's 30, all these players, Sarr, bloody Doji, Porro. I'm going to say it now, right? I didn't mind Sanchez starting. Now I know why he doesn't, and now I know why everyone, I gave Royal his dues. Porro's way better than. They're both shit. Let's be real. Defensively, they're both shit, but Porro just provides more going forward and helps the team out. Adoji is levels above Davies. Van der Ven is the only one that can walk out of that game with his head held high. He was immense yet again. We have a gem in this guy. But the defense was shocking, and it was Sanchez's fault that they got the shot off that caused Van der Ven to knock it in his own net.
Yeah, it was.
If it wasn't for that,
Van der Ven couldn't do anything. He couldn't do anything. He tried to save it. He couldn't do anything. So
he actually got his man. He actually bundled over his man that he was marking to stop him from taking a shot. It was just unfortunate. It hit the inside of his foot and rolled into the net.
Yeah. So you can't blame Van der Ven for that. But if you see when Royal and Solomon were pairing, they didn't link up. There weren't no connection there, and that's the problem. It was just like there was glimpses of Solomon doing great stuff, cutting on his left and going in the field. There was glimpses of that, but he just didn't do enough. And same with Perisic, he tried, but he can only do so much as well. And
I think with Perisic is he's looked so good because Adoji's paired with him well. Adoji's making those 1-2 touches, making those runs, running past and running in the inside. Davies can't do that all game. No. Same on the other side. Porro makes those runs. Porro runs outside. Royal, what was his shot? What the fuck was that shot? Honestly, like it was like he was going for field goal, like he was playing NRL. Like
and Højbjerg made two shots. And Højbjerg made 2 shots where he didn't have to. There was one he shot outside the box, and there was one like 15 yards from the goal, and he missed it completely. Freaking side kicked it and went to the side of the goal. And this is what I mean. And this is what I'm getting into now. And seeing this now, it's going to look like, okay, you're not good enough. You're not good enough. You're not good enough.
They should have known that, though. That's the point that we want to get to is Ange made these subs, and he should have known that all that Sanchez, Davies, even Højbjerg recently, Skip recently, Royal last season, they've all let down their managers. Sanchez has been letting managers down since Pochettino. Højbjerg's been letting managers down since fucking Mourinho. Like, they should be able to see it now, and that's the thing. I'll quickly touch on this, and then we'll get into the final part of it. But Andy's comments in the post match saying that how is he meant to know what the players are like if he doesn't play them? Play them at Burnley. If we drop points there, we can make it up later in the season. If we lose the cup game, we're out. We ain't winning the FA Cup.
No.
The way we're going to go. So it means that already we've got no trophies to play for in August. Yep. We're literally out. I know I'm being a bit over dramatic with the FA Cup. We could go on and win it, but honestly, do you really think that the way we just handled that, and the fact that every team is going to be gunning for that FA Cup because it's a trophy?
Yeah.
We should be playing every game like it's our last game. We have no other cups to play for. We have no Europe. We just have week. And you know what? What will happen is we'll play really, really well without no cups. And then everyone will be like, oh, yeah, we're the best. The next season when we get into Europe again, we'll be fucked because we haven't got any replacements because Levy won't put his hand in his pocket. But
exactly
on those comments, that Ange made, he didn't even admit that he got it wrong. Is that an alarming sign for you? Like, I'm not trying to jump on that. Ange, it's 4 games, right? I'm happy for him to make changes, but I feel like he made it in the wrong game.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely made it in the wrong game. For me, he should at least keep the starting 11. Yeah, just keep some of the starting 11. Have Son, have Basuma. Have those players, and have Skip and Sarr, Basuma. Just those kind of players in the system. Sorry, and Madison as well. Just how there is still that formation still going and still that fire in the team. Not change the whole 9 because that was woeful. I thought. Look, I actually thought about it. Oh, look, this could be good. But then when I actually watched the game, I thought this is bad. No, this is really bad. And the comments that Ange made. Look, he really didn't pin himself, and which for me he got this completely wrong. He screwed up. So I mean, he's gonna have to try and fight his way back. He's gonna have to try and fight us with try to do better in the FA Cup So it's very disappointing for us to go out this way against Fulham. Fulham looked fucking good today. I'm not
They
gonna.
drew with Arsenal 1-1. 2-2,
Yeah,
sorry, with
yeah,
10 men. They drew with them. Our arch rivals. They drew with them at the Emirates where we always lose.
yes, and that's what I mean. Like they did well to, hold us out and stop shots going off, but we didn't do enough. We really didn't do enough to pressure them. So I mean, yeah, it's one of these ones we got to take on the chin and move on. But it's really hard to know where we're going to go in the FA Cup and how we're going to play now.
Yeah. Well, I do want to end on a good note. Richarlison finally gets a
Hmm.
good ball, scores his first goal. It was a standard take. However, big ups to Perisic for that perfect cross.
That was
And the
perfect. That
thing
was
is,
right on the road.
at the end of the day, though, everyone's been saying, he's got to take his chances. He took his chance, all right? He took his chance and he scored a goal when we weren't playing well.
Hmm.
I'll give him that. For me, that he needs to build on that now. He needs to build that confidence. The goal is off his back now. He needs to slowly start building it up. I'm hoping Ange plays him now purely because he's gotten that goal. If we can get Richarlison playing at a decent level with the way our first team's playing, we can really build momentum. Beat Burnley next week, break, hit Sheffield. If we win against Sheffield and Burnley, we go into that Arsenal game with 2 on the bounce. We go into that Liverpool game after playing Arsenal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm glad Richie scored. Happy he scored. I didn't want him to start, but he did. And I did say this is if he's going to score, this has to be the game he scores because this is the perfect game to build his run. So for me, I really hope he starts building his run. Is there anybody else, especially the people that came on? Obviously we looked completely different when Madison, Sarr, um,
Mm.
you know,
Sunny.
Kulusevski, Sonny came on. Is there any one of those guys that stood out for you?
Nah, apart from the changes we made, I think it changed the dynamic of the game. Having Madison on, having Sunny, Kulu, Sarah on, it kind of changed that dynamic of the game. But I think it was too little, too late. I think we were still trying to fight in that in the game. So I mean, yeah, look, it's other than that, I think Richie took his chances really well. Took his chance really well. Great header, great cross by Perisic. Right on the head. Yeah, it was good. So I mean, look, hopefully he builds on this and goes into the Burnley game confident. He can score more, and yeah, look, it's it's good signs for him at the moment. It's good signs.
And I know I said that was the last time. There's one more thing that I think it's the most important thing: the penalties. Um, Great penalty from the first two boys.
Yep.
Buried him. Sonny buried it, and who was second? Was it Matt? No, Madison was fourth. Was it Perisic? No,
No, no, no. Decky.
Kulu. Um, Great penalties, especially Kulu's. He rifled that in. Um, I heard a rumor that apparently players back down from taking that third kick. The likes of Hoiberg, the likes of don't blame Sarr, but you have senior players there. Ben Davies, to name someone. Um, that's disgusting if that's the case. Disgusting. If the captain of Denmark is turning down a penalty and relying on a centre back, who I don't blame Sanchez for missing his penalty. He shouldn't have been third,
No,
right? Big ups to Madison for holding that pressure and getting that fourth goal. Because if you missed that, then it was game over anyway. And I like how he went up to Forster to encourage him. Disgusting from those players to not take that third kick, if that's true. I don't know if it
mm,
is. If it's Andrew's mind to have him third, that's horrible. You should best kickers and maybe your very best penalty taker last to take the pressure, but you need to secure those goals early. Otherwise, as you see, we went out the cup because Fulham got all theirs. And the reason why they got all theirs, because Ben Forster dived the same way every single penalty, and it looked like he was just falling over off a fucking piece of Lego. Like there's a piece of Lego on the floor, and he went, oh, I tripped and fell over. The guy made no attempt to save any of those penalties. They could have, and twice they shot it down the middle.
there was
Twice.
one. There was one by Wilson that he kind of deflected off the fucking
Oh,
bar.
that was never being saved by anyone. That was a perfect hit underneath the bar with power, but the other one's dying. The one
Oh,
Jimenez is one
yeah,
straight down the middle. Toyed
yeah.
with him. Paulina,
This is
is it Paulina? Paulina scored. It was the first.
Paulina, Tete, Jimenez, and Pereira.
Like they all just took it nice and easy, casual. Wasn't scared. Goalkeeper
Yeah,
didn't dive the right way. Didn't even stay on his feet properly. Looked like he just flopped over.
yeah,
It's disgusting. And I'm calling it. If Fraser Force is going to be like that, I'd rather see Austin as the backup goalkeeper.
yeah. I agree. I think Foster was lazy. He didn't do much. He basically just it's like he just tripped over his own foot and just dived that way. It was very poor. He should have done better. He should have done a lot better. I know he's pretty big and it takes him a while to get down, but you know, be confident in yourself and make sure you stop him. And I'm not gonna give the bad thing to like I'm not gonna bag out Sanchez. Like he shouldn't have been there. The likes of Hoiberg, Davies. I can't give it to. You can't really give it to Scarlett because that's a lot of pressure on the young kid. We did that to Parrot and he missed, and you know what happened with that. It
Mm-hmm.
was just, everyone was cursing him. So I mean, I understand why Scarlett didn't want to do it, but those senior players needed to step up, like the likes of Hoibergs, you know, Davies, even like Skip. He's been around the first team for a while. Maybe he should have a shot. But yeah, look, if that was the case and they didn't want to take it and they let Sanchez take it, that's absolutely disgusting. And for me, if Hoiberg was one of them, then he's the go. I'm telling you right now, he is the go. Hope Man United get him. Like as much as they'll boost the defense, but he's not an edge player. I don't see him as an edge player. He's more, I don't know. He's more like a Conte player, and it's really frustrating that had to go down this way. But unfortunately, this is what happens when you are chasing the game.
Well, you're bang on with that, bro. I don't think there's much else we can cover. We will be back for the Burnley game. A couple of videos coming out this week.
Hmm.
We'll be hopefully on the Planet Spurs on the Hotspur Hoods channel, and there is stuff coming up with the Hotspur Hood for you guys. We may be making some special content over there, so keep an eye out for that. But
Hmm.
appreciate you coming on, D. If you are watching, make sure you do again like and subscribe, guys. We appreciate you all. We're on the road to 200, getting there slowly, but
Get
you know
those
what,
subs up,
guys.
guys. Come on, 200.
We,
Be
we
more than
we
grateful.
enjoy all your content, all the comments and that, guys. So make sure you get down in there and comment. And yeah, let us know how you feel about that game. I'm sure all of you feel the same way that we do.
Hmm.
But like and subscribe to the channel again, guys. Stay safe, take it easy, and as always, guys, just stay Spursy.
Stay Spursy, guys.